I'm gonna have a meltdown. So I have a kidney disease. I got diagnosed when I was in year 3. I was really sick.
I am here in Perth with one of my incredible clients here, Tamika Erklens.
People around you are so important, and I'm just really grateful that I had a really strong mum who did everything in her power to make me believe in me at a very young age, and now I have unwavering belief in myself that whatever I want to do, I will do it.
If you were to give that one key, what advice would you give them?
Just
We are back with Keys to the Queendom. I'm your host, Tamara Meyer, and I am here in Perth with one of my incredible clients here, Tamika Erklens, who I really want to bring forward before we begin and introduce this beautiful human. I feel it's so important. While Keys to the Queendom is about bringing in guest speakers, bringing in the strategies as well, it's about also showcasing my clients that I get to witness every single week show up, do the work, as Tamika says, and share her success story for someone who's been in Queendom, but also more importantly is someone that has an incredible story. Tamika, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you, Tam. How are you?
I'm good. Well, I'll be honest, I think it's important to start with like transparency. Today has been one of those days, and I actually shared with a few of my clients before, it's hard for me to show some side of myself, and I think it's a great way to sort of segue into this beautiful episode for the listeners, that it's so nice to have someone like yourself come onto the show to see myself being human, but for you also to be part of Queendom, to be your authentic self. Does that resonate?
Yeah, absolutely. We're all human, we're all on our own journey, and we just have to be there and support each other. We're here to support you as much as you are here to support and guide us.
That means the world. And I think, well, we'll start with such a beautiful segue with your story. You know, who is Tamika, and, you know, why are you here?
Why am I here? I feel like I kind of landed here, to be honest. I didn't know that I wanted to start my business. I kept getting approached by clients asking me, will you program for me? Will you program for me? And I didn't feel like it was something that I wanted to do. I had been FIFO for the best part of 10 years. Obviously a passion for health and fitness, that is the sector that I'm in, and I've studied for all of that time to grow within that health and fitness space, but I never really wanted to do anything outside of FIFO because I was comfortable. So there was so much comfort in that place, but I wasn't living in my values there. But how I got into my business was I just said, yeah, cool, fuck it one day. This girl kept asking me, will you coach me? And then I just got an ABN, made up my business name. I didn't even know what my business name was going to be, and I just dived in, and I have not looked back. I think once I started coaching, I really found that it's my passion, but it's my purpose. It's what I'm supposed to be here doing. And then as I started to grow and evolve, I realized that, the online space is something that's challenging to navigate, and I needed some help there. So that is when I decided I wanted to reach out and find a business coach, a mentor, someone who could help me to develop my skills within my business. And I knew that that would be an important investment because I knew the value of my clients investing in me as a coach, so I knew that it was going to be beneficial for me to do the same thing. So that's kind of my business story and how I started that. Yep.
Can we talk about, just for a second, you know, you had a client that came to you and was like, just I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the process within yourself going, right, you took action. Because for a lot of women, starting something, there is that level of discomfort. There's that level of taking action. There's uncertainty when it comes to, you know, building a business. But you had someone come to you, and I think that's just a beautiful strength of yours, that you were like, right, someone's here that wants my help. Tell me more about how that all, like for yourself when it comes to processing all that. That's amazing.
I don't even know really why I decided to say yes. I just felt like I should, that it was the right time. It was almost like a gut feeling, and I'm really big on trusting my gut. The gut is always giving us signs, and it's up to us to lean into them. they're very important lessons in life through what our gut is telling us to do. And I feel like I was right to listen to it. Very grateful for that girl. She does not know who she is, but I feel like after this I'm going to reach out to her and tell her that is you that I was speaking about, and thank you. But yeah, I just decided to go all in, and I go all in on most things in life. Once I make a decision on something, I'm like, you cannot stop me. I'm full tunnel vision on that. And that's kind of where I went from there. Just, yep, let's do this. Now I need to figure out all of the things.
Let's go into a bit of the going all in. That just didn't come about, right? Like, tell me more about what was, you know, your upbringing life. Do you feel like that came from, you know, what you've been through? I know that there's been some amazing things you've traversed over your years growing up.
Oh, golly. Try not to get emotional thinking about this. Wow, that will come up.
You're going to make me cry.
Yeah.
Proud of you,
So
though.
probably...
Queen, how often have you said, I spent my whole life studying, I've been to school my whole life, and I've actually learned nothing that teaches me the tools and strategies to build a successful business in the outside world? You've probably spent thousands of dollars on courses, or you've heard fake news from business gurus. Well, I'm here to give this incredible news to everyone here right now that this is Queenstream University. Get out of debt and actually start making money in the online space, knowing and having the foundations to build a successful business. Now I'm talking because I have gone through the trenches. I have been a fitness coach, built my online business as a pro athlete, and now I am a business coach. You'll go from having absolutely no idea what your business is through, in the 8 weeks, learn the foundations of knowing what your purpose is, your vision and mission, and also understanding your business values with the execution to know what that business is. You'll also learn branding, social media, content strategy, marketing, and more importantly, how to sell. With Queenstream University, it'll cut out the bullshit and remove all the fluff and get you working specifically on your business so you can execute this in 8 weeks to get ready to launch. I wanted you to have something where you get to access something straight away, where you get to fast track your growth, as well as remove any doubt, any overwhelming sensation or stress, or the question that everyone seems to ask, where do I begin? With Queenstream University, you'll be able to build wealth, freedom, and at the end of the day, be an entrepreneur and be able to say, I have finally built my own thing, my own business. And I've stopped making money for someone else, and I'm now making money for my own empire. Queenstream University.
Fuck, I'm gonna have a meltdown. So I have a kidney disease. I got diagnosed when I was in year 3. And I lived in Princess Margaret Children's Hospital for a couple of years. I was really sick, but I was young, so I didn't really understand. I knew that I was sick, and I knew that it was bad because I was there and I was living there full time. I was homeschooled there. But my mum is so amazing that even through that, I was okay.
Yeah.
And I was strong and I was resilient because my mum is so amazing. So I think, like, my tendency to not give up, my never back down, the place that I draw all my fight from comes from a very young age, and having that instilled in me through that experience. But it come from my mum because she didn't allow me to quit. She didn't allow me to give up on anything. Like, your environment is so important, and the people around you, they shape that environment, and they can positively influence us or really negatively influence us. The people around you are so important, and I'm just really grateful that I had a really strong mum who did everything in her power to make me believe in me. She made me believe in me at a very young age, and now I have unwavering belief in myself that whatever I want to do, I will do it, and I'm relentless on that pursuit. So that's kind of my fight story, I suppose, where it all began. I didn't know it began there though until people ask you the questions, and I'm like, oh wow, I think it come from that place, and then I realized over time. Yeah.
So beautiful, babe. I'm so grateful that you're sharing this, and I feel like everyone that's listening right now can definitely feel that there's that fight in you, but there's this beautiful element about you. Like, I met you in Thailand. Remember that? Just a bit of context. Me and Tamika met in Thailand when I was sponsored at Unit 27, and she was this beautiful, still is, this beautiful person that when you go to a worker that she absolutely kills you in, she has this face and she looks at you and you just go, oh my God, okay, she's looking at me, she's telling me to do it, I'm going to make it whatever it can be for myself to make it through the workout, which is again, the testament you share right now. And it's because of what you've been through, and I really want the audience just to understand how amazing you are. So thank you for bringing that forward. You know, now knowing that this belief in yourself has always been there in you, for someone that's listening, what advice would you give to someone when it comes to finding that belief, finding that sort of willpower when it comes to that breaking point where you do feel like giving up?
You don't find it, you create it. Just like anything in life, you don't find anything, it doesn't just fall into your hands. We all wish it was that easy, it's not. We are the creators of our own destiny, our own journey, our own path. If you don't like something, change it. If you want to be somewhere else, then go there. Stop living in victim mentality, mindset. Like, you have to do the things yourself. No one's going to do them for you, and I'm just a really big believer in that. But I'm also very kind. I sound like a hard ass, but I'll give you a hug and then tell you to fucking do the things at the same time. Like, that is, yeah, it's just, I think honesty is what people need.
Yeah.
People don't need hugs all the time. Follow through with the hug after you tell them to do the things.
Yeah, and I remember when you were like, just do the fucking assault bike, you'll be
fine.
Like, all right.
You'll be great after that.
So run me through then upbringing, you know, that was, your mum was a big testament to who you are. High school, what was that like?
Oh golly, high school. I just was always sporty my whole life. So a gymnast as a young age. I stopped when I got diagnosed with my kidney disease because I was so unwell. Through high school, got bullied a bit, to be honest. And because of that, I started martial arts. I did martial arts for a very long time, probably about 8 or 9 years, so I could learn self-defense to be able to defend myself. School, I don't remember it being anything else other than that, to be honest, because it was rough, the bullying.
Tell me more about that.
I just didn't want to fight back. I didn't want to defend myself because I wasn't that person yet. I was strong, but I hadn't reached the point where I was willing to like just hit someone back. It didn't feel like it was right for me until year 11. The bully who like bashed me all through school, I beat the shit out of her, and I left school because of that. That's what I remember from school, just getting bullied a lot. I feel like I was maybe a bit of a nerd. I was in like the debate team, in the book club, and I would read on lunch, all of the things. So, not a bad kid. Kids are horrible also. Sidestep. Yeah, kids are horrible.
Let's be real, the C-U-N-Ts.
Yeah. When I think about that experience, all I think about is sport.
Yeah.
Like, sport has been my anchor throughout my whole life. When I think about whatever situation I've been in, sport anchors me in some way. Gymnastics, then martial arts, and then into CrossFit. Like, I've always had that. That is like my base. When you think about a foundation, what is at your core, that is my core. Like, I feel like I just, I love it.
I want to bring that up because, one, thank you for sharing, you know, what high school was like for you. I feel like I resonate with the bullying. I went through that in year 7. And have you ever addressed your bully when you were older?
No.
Yeah, and it's interesting, you know, so many beautiful humans that I've met have been through interesting stories around the bullying and stuff. But how you spoke about CrossFit being your anchor, like you went from martial arts, sport was always something that you loved. How did you find that when you were growing up? And then how did that energy transverse into CrossFit?
I think I come from a sporty family, so mum and dad always encouraged us to do sports, so that's kind of where it started. And then I have lots of brothers and sisters, so they were always positive influences, especially my sister Roxy. I always looked up to her. She doesn't really know that. She was always amazing at all the sports that she did. I'm one of 6 actually, 3 boys and 3 girls. Huge family, all sporty. We all did sports growing up, so I'm also grateful. Again, it comes down to the people that you are lucky enough to be around at a young age that can help to instill like the good habits in you that you can then pass on to others, or you need to find your humans that are going to help you with the direction that you want to travel in your life. I forgot the question. What was it? It was about sport.
Yeah, the energy. Because obviously you had all these beautiful skill set. You know, you've been through this stuff with high school. Found the foundations. You started from sports, right?
Yeah.
And then you found CrossFit.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I did CrossFit. I did a few drop-in classes, and it was so hard. And I just remember it being so hard, oh my gosh, but it was so fun because it was super challenging, and I think I love anything that is a challenge. I only did a few drop-in classes at a gym, and then I got the opportunity to work at Unit 27 in Thailand, so I moved over there thinking that I would move over there doing martial arts, but I actually moved over there and went ham on CrossFit. In that environment where everyone is striving to achieve something athletically, I feel, on that street where I was working, and it just really made me even hungrier to pursue all of my goals. I wasn't great at CrossFit over there, actually such a baby CrossFitter, I would call it, and I had no idea that I could develop the skill set that I have now. And I've still got a long way to go, but that's with everything in life. Even once you achieve your goal, when you're people like us, you never want to stop there. There's always another goalpost, and that's awesome. Yeah.
And I just really want to bring that forward, right? Because being a baby CrossFitter, you know, you're in a new environment, you're in Thailand, and you're like, okay, you decided, did you have someone say to you, you should do CrossFit as professionally? How did that come about?
No, I just went from doing a single session and realizing, like a single session a day, realizing, oh, there's too many skills to learn. I can't get to the level I'm hoping that I can get to, which is just to have all of the skills, not even necessarily to be good at them. So I started training twice a day. And then it was like, oh, I need to, on top of that twice a day, I need to do accessories, and then I need to come in earlier because I need to develop this skill, and now I need to go to the pool because I need to swim, and that's a part of CrossFit. And it kind of just layered over time. I just kept wanting to learn more, be better, get fitter, be stronger. So I think I was very self-motivated in that regard. Yeah, I just wanted to be better.
That comes back from what you were explaining before about what you've been through, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And so coming into now the professional, well, I would say you've got that discipline in your mindset, right? You've been through the physical journey with being bullied. You've gone into finding your foundation in CrossFit. You've pushed through the challenges with that. Tell me some of the mindset stuff that you went through, going through workouts, maybe sometimes going through like challenges. Like, what were some of the things that you were going through in your mind when you were starting out?
Oh, I feel like ever since, if I just think back to any of the times where I've been challenged in sport, I will tell myself, you got this, girl, keep going. That is like, I will tell myself like, you got this, keep going. And when stuff hurts in CrossFit, I'm like, just do more, do more, you can do more. And I think that has been what has enabled me to get better, because it comes down to that belief in myself. I know if I stretch myself just a little bit that day and do one extra rep, couple of extra minutes, that is going to create space for me to expand, and then the next time I'm going to get a bit better at it and I'll create more space, and then or like the compounding effect, right? All of that, it adds up. And then all of a sudden, it's not so all of a sudden, you just end up being better than you were yesterday.
One of the things I really love about you being in Queendom, and just, it honestly, it reminds myself sometimes, like, sometimes we just need to have that conversation with ourselves, you know. Yeah, life can be tough right now. There's hardships we're going through, but there's that 1% better mentality, or just like stretching yourself. And I think it's important to reflect on business and personal life and the things that we do now. A lot of people do give up too soon.
Absolutely.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh, golly. I just think that people in general, they give up too soon. It's weak. Have a bit of grit about you, like just try a little bit harder. It's going to be hard. Anything in life is hard. Anything worth anything in life is hard. But people make so many excuses for their own stuff instead of thinking, like, what can I do differently?
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, it comes down to exposure to epic humans. I've been lucky enough to have epic humans on my journey who plant a seed, and then it's up to me to water that. And I feel like I met a few people, and they're just like popping in my brain right now, where I met them and they were awesome, and I was like, I had an aha moment. And people will have them all of the time, but they're so ignorant and blissfully unaware that they don't see it. It's right in front of them. But I also feel like that's a choice as well. Everything is a choice. We all have the power to choose. Sometimes things are right in front of us and we don't even acknowledge it. Yeah, I love all of this stuff. Just, yeah, we have to create our own path. We have to like etch that out for ourselves. And there are so many cool people in the world, and just their life experience alone can teach you something. So you might meet someone and you know right away, oh, I don't like that person. There's something about them. They haven't even said a word. Their energy feels yuck. You don't have to be like, oh, ugh, don't like that person. You can actually look at it from a different perspective and think, like, what is that teaching me? You can seek to understand more rather than just absorbing things for what they are. You can make it more about you rather than other people, and then it allows you to grow and develop yourself as to be a better human. I think we should all strive to be better humans.
Now, before I go into the harm moments you were talking about, I'd love for the listeners to just navigate through what have been some of the not even three challenges, but your biggest challenges you faced in life and how you overcame that.
Hey, beautiful kings and queens, are you right now in a space where you're ready to take action and build your business, yet you struggle where to begin? You're feeling stuck and overwhelmed with all the things you need to do when it comes to building a business. Build the business of your dreams in the online space and be in the arena of all the incredible, great humans out there that are building 7 to 8 figure businesses. Now, the foundations that I truly believe in that you are going to learn through this membership is sales, marketing, content creation, social media, money mindset, and of course, branding. Now, all of this will be accessible for you to be learning what is currently hot right now in the market and how you can create your own business and build a successful business in the online space. All you have to do right now is DM Empire in my Instagram or email myself and my team, and we will get the ball rolling so you can have your empire and start making moves in the online space.
Oh, biggest challenges that I've faced in life. So I think being sick when I was a child was definitely one of the bigger ones, even though I don't hold much space for it. Well, I get emotional when I talk about it. It's things that trigger me, but I try not to hold too much space for it. Because I am not that person anymore. Like that little girl, I am no longer her. We leave versions of ourselves in the past. So that was a challenge. I overcame it, and it taught me all of the things that it did, and I'm grateful for that because I feel like I'm really strong and resilient. And I have a heart of gold as well. And that come from that experience too, I believe, because my mum had a heart of gold and I was around her all of the time. So that challenge was also amazing. grateful for all of the things in life. That was the first. The second one, I'm trying to think.
Even something more recent, because I know that there's been...
Yeah, I think I was in a really long-term relationship for 8 years, and that's probably the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my life to overcome, because I wasn't living in my values, and I blew my life up in a really shitty way. And to hurt someone the way that I did, I have to live with those mistakes, and that challenged me because I woke up every day for quite a few years post-breakup, not being proud of who I was, and not happy with the person that I was. So I actively worked every single day to ensure that the person I am today is someone who now I wake up every single day and I'm so proud of who I am. So I learned a lot through that. That's probably the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my life.
Yeah. The same.
Yep, blew my life up. That was really difficult, but it's taught me a lot, and I don't want to use the I was young line. We met quite young and then we grew together. We grew together, but we didn't grow... Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but I didn't grow enough separately. And I now understand that that's really important, because you are someone completely different in a relationship dynamic than you are solo. So if you don't do the work on yourself to understand why you are behaving how you are, your mindset is how it is. If you don't seek to understand yourself on a deeper level, then the person that you are in your relationship isn't really a true reflection of who you are, because other people can shape you, right? And I feel like in the past I have been shaped and molded by my environment and the people that I was around unknowingly.
Yeah.
But now I have a better understanding of, just through life experience. That experience taught me so much. Like, it was awful to go through, but I'm so grateful for it, because I am a better human now because I did the work to be a better human. Yeah, relationship stuff.
Tell me about it, right? I think it's so important for the listeners to hear, we can talk about business and our growth and expansion, but relationship with others and what we've gone through with that, but even relationship with ourselves. And before we move into, your beautiful growth that you have had in your business, what are some of the relationship stuff you've learned about yourself?
That I needed to develop better communication skills, which I have, and I needed to not internalize things for long periods of time. I'll just be silent and not say things when they bother me, and just, crazy. So again, that comes down to communication. That's the biggest one for me. Communication is so important, and language. The way that I speak now is very different. I try to choose my language selectively, because your language is very important. And you can tell, in certain social situations whether people will receive your language in the same way that you intend it to be received. Do you get what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I think... Sorry, you go, Beb.
When you found your people, when you can just talk and they're like,
I feel I'm speaking to me right now.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So let's go into the stuff around business right now. You've developed an amazing community with your beautiful online coaching, and I think it's really important for the listeners to hear this, because I think it's important to share that your journey is possible for other people. So tell me more about the experiences of what you do for your clients, more about your coaching, so that we can really share with anyone that's listening right now, because I definitely can tell with the listeners, they're going to be like, I really want to work with this girl right now. She sounds like my girl.
I just totally lost my train of thought. Can you ask me that question again?
Yeah,
sorry.
Tell me more about what you're doing now, my love, your coaching business for the listeners.
So my online business is nutrition coaching. It started as nutrition coaching, but now since working with you, I've developed and grown, and it's fitness and nutrition coaching. But I love food. I love nutrition. I love aesthetics, but I love performance as well. And I really just love helping people. I realized that after I worked with my first client, and then as I started working with the clients following her, I realized that the check-in photos that people would do weekly, and the change in their smile from week to week. The first week, no one really looks that happy, and then as the weeks go on, the evolution of the smile was just like, will light me up. I'm like, yes, I love that. And a big part of my nutrition coaching business is not just nutrition. It's the mindset, it's the habits, it's the creating trust within yourself that you can do these things. And in the beginning, it's going to be hard for a certain period of time, but you just have to flex that discipline muscle for a little bit, and I'll be here to support you to do that, because people quit too soon usually. So having a coach in your corner to support you when things are tough and where you want to, when you think like you're not getting anywhere, but really they just need to highlight all of the place where you've had growth already, and it's not directly related to the scale. It could be how your clothes are fitting, your energy, your performance in the gym, like just your habits in general, your routine. You've opened up more time for yourself because you're forward planning things. Nutrition is so much more than just setting a macro target and eating the things. It is creating a lifestyle for yourself that you can live day in, day out, where you feel good in your skin, but you're also setting an example for your kids, for your partner, for, you know, people around you, because health is something we shouldn't take for granted. I feel like maybe that's why I prioritize nutrition as well, coming from the experience that I had in my childhood. I needed to eat healthy to nourish and support my body. So for me, I love food, number one, but I love nutrition and the way that it supports us.
And I feel as well, there's been, I mean, I come from a fitness background too, babe. And hearing how you speak about nutrition and food, I think my story was not about how much I loved food and just to be healthy. It was how I wanted to look and be validated and to be worthy, right? But I just love how you come in. You're like, I want to be performance-based. I want to eat because I want to live. So tell me more, what are the things you hear about your clients struggling with and how you support them with that as well?
There's just so much misinformation out there that people don't know like where to start, or they think that they found the right method for them and then they get results like it's a quick fix, but it's not sustainable long term, and then they rebound back and they're worse off than when they started because they don't understand like about metabolic damage and the things that they're doing to their body in the process of achieving that fat loss goal. And so that is a big thing that I find regularly. That's a big problem that clients are always bringing to the table, is just there's so much information out there. They don't know like what method is right for them. They've tried all of them and they haven't found one that sticks. Yeah.
And for anyone that's listening right now, because I would imagine that they've heard your story, they really want to have your strength and mindset. They want to understand like, oh, I just want to do what Tamika does when it comes to tackling my nutrition, my fitness, everything. But if someone that's new and they're like, what's the first thing I begin with? What would you say to that person listening right now?
Just start by incorporating something wholesome at your breakfast today.
That's
something
really good.
green and a protein source. Find one and start there. It's super simple. You know, people ask me, well, I don't know, what do I do? I'm like, think about eggs, think about baby spinach, make yourself an omelette. That's how simple it has to be. Because people think when you give them guidance around food, they think it has to be chicken, broccoli, rice, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, that was me, actually.
They think, based off of information that is commonly seen and out there, that they need to have this rigid approach. But when they're left to their own devices to think about what to have, they get stuck and they're unsure of, okay, what do I eat? So it's about just giving them, it's simple, like the simple stuff. Think about eggs, think about baby spinach, throw that in an omelette. There you go. What do? We have that for the next few days, and see how you feel. And then let's add in, make sure you're drinking 2 to 3 liters of water every single day. And then from there we add something else.
It's almost the basics, right?
The basics, doing the common uncommonly well.
Yeah. I really want to tap into your goals, but before we do, just tackle the myths around nutrition so the listeners can understand, so that we can be gone with anything that's misleading to anyone out there, which there'd be so much right now, right? Yeah. So what are some of the myths?
Oh, people think that they need to do keto to lose fat.
I did that. Sorry.
Yeah. So actually, I've tried all of the things myself.
That's good.
Because I was not always as educated as what I am now. So I've been there. I come from a place of understanding my client's journey. I've been where they are. I've tried all of the things, and now I've just found a method that works.
Yeah.
Works for me, but in my experience works for the majority of people because it's sustainable and it doesn't make you stick to chicken, broccoli and rice, or it's not rigid. It's flexible, it's adaptable, and that's how it should be, because life isn't the exact same every single day. You need to have a level of flexibility in there so that you can like live life and not feel like you're derailing all of the things just because you ate something that wasn't on your plan.
And I think if just because flexible dieting has its own stigma, how would you say to someone that's new to flexible dieting, how would you explain that for someone new?
It's flexible. So if you are unsure of whether or not it works for you, then explain to me how the things that you enjoy to eat can't be fit into your daily meals. Okay, I'm explaining this really shitty. Okay, so ask me the question again.
I feel like, do you find that people think when it comes to flexible dieting, they're like, I can do donuts every day? Like, how would you describe to someone that's new to start implementing flexible dieting?
Okay, so just because it fits your macros, so it can't, okay, my approach is it's not calories, it's flexible dieting with guidelines.
Love that.
So you have flexibility. I like the 80-20 rule mixed in with the flexible dieting approach. So 80% wholesome, 80% of the time, 20% soul foods, 20% of the time. So I'll set you your macros so that you have a protein target, fats and carbs, they can be used interchangeably, just preferences, lifestyle, all of those types of things. But then I set a fiber target too. So that ensures that I'm balancing food quality with quantity. And so if you look at it, it's a blend actually, now that I'm saying it out loud. It's a flexible dieting approach using the 80-20 rule and throwing in a little bit of my own flair. So anyone can do it because it's not going against the grain of things that you like to eat. If you like to eat a chicken burger, cool, eat a chicken burger, but then I'm going to help you to understand how that chicken burger fits into the scope of your full day of eating, because that food in isolation isn't the enemy. The poison is in the dose. So we need to create balance and harmony with your nutrition. And when you do that, it's beautiful because it's sustainable long term. You can eat the things, but you just have to, I like to say, like, not eat like an asshole. I tell my clients that all the time, just don't eat like an asshole.
Define
have
an
it.
asshole.
Yeah, have it in moderation and then move on.
Yeah.
Like, there's no rules, just guidelines.
There's no rules, just guidelines.
Yeah.
That's your landing page there,
Yeah,
babe.
I say it all the time. Yeah.
Let's talk more about the achievements you have had since you've been in Queendom, and just since just this year, babe. Like, I think you are someone that you're like me. On to the next thing.
Yeah.
On to the next thing. Oh wait, I've done all this stuff. Like, I'm here having a meltdown today, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm here with my best friends and my clients. So, yeah, let the listeners really hear all the things you've achieved so far.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you, Tam. Honestly, my business achievements, I had big dreams in business, but you're like my mum, where my mum made me believe that I could do anything. The first call with you, you made me believe, like, I got this. I just needed the support and guidance. So I had the business. I started the business and I was figuring stuff out as I was going.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did okay to get to where I was. Like, I was making, should I say that? Should I talk about?
Whatever you want, yeah. This is your time.
I was making 5K months in business online, not really knowing what I was doing. And people coming to me, and all I was doing was like putting some stories up on Instagram and sharing some posts, but I didn't have any structure. I didn't have any, it's marketing, but I don't feel like I was marketing clearly, or I just lacked direction. But I knew, I've got something cool here that I can grow on, because I felt like, wow, this is great. I never thought I could make that kind of money online, but I wanted to do more. So then I was like looking at business coaches, and because I was seeing them coming up more and more on my For You page, you popped up. And because I had that experience meeting you in Thailand, I stalked out all of your Instagram, and I was like, yep, she's my human.
It's just funny, it was 6 years ago, I think. Yeah. That's insane.
And sidestep, the people that you meet in life, and the way that they make you feel, you don't forget that. Words are a totally different thing. But your energy and vibe over there, even though I didn't know you, was awesome. And when I saw your face on Instagram and went through your social media, it was that same feeling, and you teach me to show up authentically, and you were a big ambassador for that. And I love that, because you don't want to fake anything, and if you just show up as you are, you're going to attract your humans. And I think in business and online especially, you want to make sure that you're attracting the right people. Yeah,
that's big, Megan. Thank you for that. I really want to share this for everyone listening. This was all you, though. You know, it's been from the very beginning, from what you've said from the start of this podcast, that you just had that all-in mentality. You're now hitting 10Ks consistently. We're hitting the 20Ks now. For anyone that's listening, before they ever feel like giving up, as we said, you just said, you just have to do it. But what kept you going through those months, and what's really getting you through the next few months when it comes to that 20K goals?
Something big jumps out at me here, because I have just had to navigate through this. So we hit a 10K month within the first 30 days of joining you, which was epic. I did followed all of the steps, and I got the result. That was fantastic. Then the second month, I was challenged, because after having all of that growth, I didn't have as many leads. I don't know if it was the second month or the third, actually. And I was like, oh, wow, I knew I had this, but you question yourself.
Of course.
And I just kept showing up anyway and doing the things regardless, because you have to do that. You have to just trust in the process. And if I had have quit, I wouldn't have been here right now where I am, almost another 10K month. I've still got plenty of time to hit it, I'm
doing
stoked.
content days, podcast days.
Just consistency. Consistency pays, and holding yourself to a standard.
Yeah. I want the listeners to know what your goals are with your professional athlete goals before I ask you two more questions. So that the listeners can see that you can have it all, right? You've got a beautiful relationship now. You're part of an amazing community. You've hit these goals. You've also focused on your personal goals, right?
My mind keeps going so blank. I'm so sorry.
No.
Can you ask me that question again?
That's so fine. I think it's great for the listeners to hear you've got business goals, you've got a beautiful relationship, and you can have it all.
Yeah.
Personal goals, I think.
Personal goals, yes. I'm so nervous. That's why personal goals. I want to go to the CrossFit Games. In the 35 to 39 division, so the Masters division. I'm old as fuck. No, not really.
You're not really. How old are you?
I'm not really. 35.
That's not old.
No, it's not old. I was being sarcastic. People say all the time, I'm so old. It's like, no, you're not. Calm down. I really want to go to the CrossFit Games in the 35 to 39 division. Saying that out loud is scary, because people will judge you. And it's hard. It's like the top 40 people in the world in that division. Before I make it there, I want to go to the Torian Pro next year in the open division. So no age barrier.
So good.
And I'm going to get there too. I had a shoulder reconstruction.
We have no doubt. Yeah, that's right. That was with a challenge. I think that was this year, right? Or last year?
That was 9 months ago. So I had a shoulder reconstruction, and that just put me out completely of chasing I was still chasing them, still did all of the things in a sling and managed to maintain a certain level of...
Can you just say that again? You were still doing everything in a fucking sling.
Yeah. I think I sat still for 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
If you have big goals, you have to get after them.
Yeah.
Any goals, whether they're big or small, you have to get after them. Yeah, you just have to be relentless on your pursuit of whatever it is.
And I think that's just the way I really want to bring this beautiful question up. You know, you've shared about your goals, you've spoken about your goals with Queendom. You know, women who are watching, listening right now, if they want to work with you, they know where to find you too. But I think I love this one last question I want to wrap up with, right? And that is, you've shared so many amazing golden nuggets, let's be real. But I always feel it's really great for the listeners to hear your version of, if you were to give that one key for the listeners out there, that one piece of advice who are listening and watching, who are just like very similar to you, the young Tamika back in the day, what advice would you give them?
Just start. Don't worry about being perfect. Just start and get better every single day.
Tamika, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. I just really want to, before I finish, I'm so fucking proud of you. I started to realize there were all these identities I had in myself. And when I was dabbling in the life coaching space for me, I started to understand that really what my pain, the thing that I kept hiding, the thing that I kept suppressing, the thing that I was ashamed to talk about, was my purpose to share, was my purpose to help you guys. Everyone in this room today is here because you see something in me that you see in yourself. That's it, right? So if you can really bring that into your heart and you think about your ideal clients, if you were to show more of those parts, wouldn't you attract more people that you want to work with?
Inspiring. She brings so much knowledge and resource and information, but also fosters a beautiful, atmosphere of connection.
I felt like I was in a room with some really powerful women.
My favourite mic drop moment was creating impact, showing up so that we can reach as many people as we can.
My key takeaway was having the confidence to just show up.
I wouldn't be where I am today without her and without her knowledge and guidance. And she's made me really believe in myself.
My key takeaway from this is that you should dream big and that you are capable of it, and with the right tools and the right help, you can achieve whatever you want.
I love you.